Steve here. Yeah, that habit of like repositioning myself just before the video starts. Someday, maybe even now. Like, let's see, I'm starting the video. I'm not standing up and sitting back down again. It's working already. Okay, so I think today we're going to break it up again like yesterday, but hopefully today when I make it into segments, not break it up, not crack it up, but make it into segments. I'll make it into segments that aren't each 20 to 30 minutes long, meaning there's just so much to cover. So, one of the first things I'll say today is the number, I think it was 3, I'm pretty sure it was 3. The number 3 video that might have been published today but was made yesterday is confusing. It's really good. I feel like it's one of the best pieces of work I've ever done. The reason I feel that way is I felt so different after I made it the first time, but I felt even more differenter after I watched it for the third time. Because every time I watched it, I felt different afterwards. I felt like I was thinking differently, and I'm like, is the cat channeling through me again? Or is that like my night school teachers? They're finally being able to get things caught on video and make them interesting enough that I just watch them over and over again and eventually feel like, I think I got that. And it's not because I'm slow. It's not because I have difficulty saying slow. It's because I'm detail oriented. And I really feel like it's important that I really understand on an experiential level what they're telling me in night school during the day. Because at night school, at the end of night school, typically I go, that was fascinating. And then 5 minutes later, I go, what was that about? Oh, did I actually have a dream last night? I have a faint memory of a dream. So if I just keep going on like this, we're never going to do this in under, let's say, 7 minutes. That should give me plenty of time to just do the Mayan calendar reading. So, to start with, we're going to talk about that this is a blue rhythmic eagle day. And so the rhythmic is tone 6 of the 13 tones, which are vibratory tones that shift every day and go in a pattern of 1 through 13 and then start over again at 1. So we're on the 6th tone, which is rhythmic. And the rhythmic tone is about, the words are organize, balance, and equality. So organize, balance, equality. So I almost forgot to just mention, to state out loud. So you maybe know what's coming, so you can just say it when I say it. I connect with my deep self. I ground myself to the healing power of the earth. I open myself to the healing power of the One. Pretty expansive. And I choose to work with the hot doors in case they happen to want to interact with me, us, during these videos. Hawthorne cat. Okay, so we're all set with that. So the rhythmic tone, tone 6, it says, music is behind life and rules life. It's quite a statement. I don't know if it's true. I'm just stating it because I'm being impeccable with my word as it comes off the page. So this later on, I'll listen to this and read about it and think about it a bit and go, oh yeah, that makes sense to me, or I get that, or I really embody that. those words. Music is behind life and rules life. From music springs all life. That's saying something. The whole creation exhibits in rhythm, and isn't that true? The rhythm of the heart, the rhythm of the lungs, the rhythm of the lymphatic system, the rhythmic movement of the bowels. Hopefully not during the video. The rhythm, of the whole circulatory system, the rhythm of the respiratory system, the rhythm of the cerebral spinal fluid motion, the rhythm of that kundalini moving up and down, the rhythm of the energies of the earth coming up through the legs and charging, our battery, our the Dantian area. In martial arts, it's referred to as the Dantian, which is the body battery, which is where our energy comes in and goes out. So when it comes in from the earth, it charges up the body battery. And from the body battery, I've typically watched it go to through the chakra system. So, the root chakra, the through the gonads, through the adrenals, through the pancreas, through the thymus, through the thyroid, through the pituitary gland, through the pineal. As those powers come in from the earth, the colors are normally red, orange, and yellow. As they come in from the earth and they power us up on a physical level, so they charge our batteries, we may feel our systems kind of wake up. And you might be feeling it just by describing it, might be helping you to be aware of this happening. But again, that's all comes out of the rhythms of life. The whole creation exists in rhythm, and in a general phrase, it may be said that there is one common source of human dis-ease, and that is disorder in rhythm. And I don't even know how to say the first word. Hazrat might be Hazrat Inyat Khan. So I think I know of the person that I've thought of as Inyat Khan, but I didn't know about Hazrat, maybe being his title or his first name. But that was a quote from Hazrat Inyat Khan. That music is behind life. It rules life, and from music springs all life. So we're gonna, if you do what I do, which I'd suggest you do, because basically this information is coming from a higher realm. It might be me up there in the higher realm, or I might just be the, ventriloquist dummy that where this information is just coming through me. And I don't care either way, because I get to watch the videos sometimes repeatedly, sometimes before they're even published. So I feel very lucky that I get this information first, so I can sound really intelligent about it. Especially if I really get it, I take it in, and it's mine and I own it, then I do sound intelligent about it. Because once I own it, I own it. And you only own it when you experience it. So you got to be a squatter. You got to be a squatter of this information for a certain period of time, until you feel like, I own that. I'm not talking about the 4 agreements. I'm living the 4 agreements. Good job. Okay. So all life on earth, including the rhythms of our body, are influenced by the rhythms of ever-changing combinations of celestial movements. Daytime, for example, offers high energy of the sun for outward exertion and communication. Nighttime, conversely, welcomes the deepening of intuition, supporting expansive internal processes. By noticing the fluctuations of nature, we can receive the support of its cycles to enhance our endeavors. As we give attention to our personal rhythms and notice if you're feeling these rhythms as we're talking, as I'm talking, but we, the universal one that we are, as we are speaking through one of us and receiving through another one of us, we can go off track and get confused about what was I just talking about, and that can happen. But through confusion comes all learning. The more confused you are, the more you're learning. It's a nice thing. It makes you feel good about being confused, or at least it makes me feel good about being confused, because that way I know I'm learning. If I'm not confused, I already knew it all, and being a know-it-all means that you will, from that point on, never learn anything. Because how can you learn something if you know it all? Okay, so that being said, welcomes the deepening of intuition supporting expansive internal processes. By noticing the fluctuations of nature, we can receive the support of its cycles to enhance our endeavors. As we give attention to our personal rhythms, we can actualize deeper levels of organic balance, both physically and emotionally. I think it sounds great. Sometimes I read these things, I'm like, that is like random 70s, like everything's beautiful in its own way kind of stuff, which maybe it is. And I say that fairly frequently. Everything's beautiful in its own way. And then I got a quote. So I got a quote as a rumor. So I got the rumor from one person about another person who said this, supposedly. And so I'm just passing on a rumor. But that person said, at the end of the day, do you like the light fluctuations when I said at the end of the day? I did too, if you saw them. And if it was just me, don't tell me, because I just don't want to feel like I'm seeing things that other people aren't. Well, then again, I think I do see a lot of things that other people don't, but sometimes they see them too. And that makes us feel more aware. We don't need to say less crazy. We can say, it's nice to be aware that other people are becoming as aware as we are. And we may as well virtue signal our awareness, because without awareness, what do we have? Good question, isn't it? Okay, so producing greater ease and equilibrium, I like that. May we expect the various aspects of maintenance as the foundation which supports the art of our life. Through the eyes of equality, all movements equally contribute to the sacred balance of our lives. We are reminded that this too shall pass, this too shall return, and at the end of the day. May we see all beings in the light of equality. Kind of feel that one. Finding innovative ways to enact ever greater balance with the web of life. And as I pretty sure I've said before, I perceive the oneness like a good metaphor for the oneness is the mycelium. And if you read about mycelium, when one part, where one end of the mycelium, so the mycelium is the underground bed, web, what's called World Wide Web, the mycelium of the World Wide Web. There's a hillside, mountaintop, something in Oregon that I'm going to say, how many miles across it is. But it's one organism, it's one mycelial organism that's 4 miles across. It might be larger. I'm just saying 4 miles because when I read it, I went, wow, that's really big. And if you affect one end of it, they can put little transducers on the mycelium and they can notice reactions. So when you do something to one end of the mycelium, the other end of the mycelium responds to it immediately. Like the communication system is like when you're talking on your cell phone and you're talking to somebody 3,000 miles away, and like you say something and then they say something and there's this flow, and you're thinking like, How can those words travel so fast when those words have to go maybe up to a spaceship, SpaceX, or up to orbiting whatever they're called, those things that orbit, satellites, go up to a satellite, go to some other tower someplace else, crawl down the wires of the tower, and then project itself all the way across maybe miles to your maybe Wi-Fi or maybe directly to your phone. And it doesn't seem like it takes any time at all. These are things to think about. Okay, so the World Wide Web, we are the World Wide Web of consciousness. We're the mycelium, the grand mycelium of the oneness, that we communicate instantaneously through that web, not that we're always paying attention or getting the message, or maybe we get the message at the dream world at night, and then sometimes we bring it back. So I have one new, relatively new person who comments on my videos, appears to pay attention to them, and comments really like she listened to them and she got them and she found them useful. And so she found out that she was a blue eagle. And today, so this is for you, my blue eagle friend. Let me see if I can get my fingers away from it and get the shininess away and hold it steady long enough that you can click it and tick it. Click it or tick it. Click it and read it if you want to. So you can stop the video because it won't stop me. I'll just keep going. You can hit that stop button now if you want. And I just will be keeping going because that's what I do is I move and talk. So I move and talk, move and talk, move and talk, and then sleep. And then go to the dream world in my sleep and listen and listen and listen and listen. And then now what I'm realizing is the next day, that information is given to me again that I got last night. And that's why I'm understanding that everything's connecting like it is. And that we are not crazy. Well, we might be, but I can just say we are not crazy. We're wolves, not werewolves. We are awake. And when I say that, I think, goodness, I said I was going to keep this under 7 minutes, and I think I've just successfully not done that. Okay, so last little bit of Blue Eagle. So the Blue Eagle is about the crown chakra, and basically it says transforms the crown. And it's about, it creates, and it's about vision, and it's about mind. So think of the eagle. So the eagle, and I'm just throwing stuff in, but in the process of the awakening of the person born in the sign of Scorpio, the sun sign of Scorpio, the process is described as the person starts out as a scorpion with a little stinger, you get it. It's like, and then it moves to part of the snake, which tends to avoid being stepped on better than the scorpion maybe. But the snake also, some of the snakes can like, don't step on me. Anyway, and then the snake is another level of consciousness. It sheds its skin and it becomes the eagle. So the eagle, and I think the person who made a comment that this particular thing was useful and that she found out by going to 13moon.com and putting in your birth date and clicking decode a date and finding out what of the 20 kin you are. So she did that and she found out she was a blue eagle. I can't remember which kind of blue eagle, but we looked up what her next day, complete 3-day, 3-word day was going to be, and I think it was June or something. And she might make a comment because she actually listens to these. And I think she is also possibly a Scorpio, which makes it kind of interesting. I'm talking kind of fast. I realize that, and we'll see if I can't slow it down as my computer just did. Okay, so Blue Eagle. The journey towards perfection means rising above limitations, rising so high that not the horizon of one country or one continent only is seen, but that of the whole world. The higher we rise, the wider becomes the horizon of our view. Hazrat Inayat Khan. And I think the other quote was Hazrat Inayat Khan too, that I just read from the tonal, whichever that tonal was that I've already forgot that I read like 3 minutes ago. Okay, but anyway, I think he was the one they quoted in that one as well. So Blue Eagle represents higher collective mind. The one. Visionary creativity and planetary consciousness. The one. Often shown with a globe in its eye, Eagle holds an expansive scope, a grand planetary perspective. Seeing with a broad and objective view, we travel beyond our limited or narrow perceptions of ourselves, our lives, and our world. Elevating our consciousness to meet with the planet mind, we can discover what our unique personal contributions are to assist the positive transformation of our shared reality. All who choose to attune to the planetary mind help inspire our collective consciousness to honor and serve the evolution, our living planet, and global society. Blue Eagles directs, voyage in the vast creative landscape of your soul. Discover unlimited clear seeing, fertile imagination, and groundbreaking ideas. Vision is a gift. Portray and reveal so others may also see. Bring your perspective from the highest, most all-encompassing viewpoint possible. Access the visionary within, seeing and believing in that which has not yet manifest. Give flight to your sacred vision. And I'm going to read from yesterday's, because when I was watching the video from yesterday that actually probably download today about the tarot, the World Tarot reading, it was this statement: untie the past, or its impact will last. Don't worry or hurry to reach the future. It surely will never arrive. And that is not the one I wanted to read, but that's the one I did read. So I'm gonna let it go because it was something else, but that's good enough. So we just have another thing to think about. And thanks for making it this far, if you did make it this far, and now must go.